Hello, it's Sylvia Michetti. This is Luminosity TV. Today, I'm a little curious and I'm hoping I'm not the only one. Are you feeling what I'm feeling at this time? Does it seem like there's a heavy amount of pressure that's weighing on you when it comes to making decisions for yourself? Like sometimes you just can't hear your own voice anymore because it's cloudy and foggy with other people's perceptions and ideas being imposed on you. Are you one of those following the dusty crowd in whatever direction that they're heading? And even though you can't see the road ahead, you're still happily following just so that you're not left out. Because think about it, if everyone's going in a particular direction, it must be the right direction, right? Not quite. It's been proven that if you show someone a picture of a lion, but you label it as a sheep and tell them that it's a sheep, if you hold it in their face long enough and wear them out, and then ask them a week after what animal they saw in the picture, most of them will just simply say it was a sheep. Very few will admit that it was in fact a lion. And out of that few, if they look to their left and notice two people confirming that it's a sheep, they'll probably change their mind and say, yeah, come to think of it, it did look like a sheep after all. The real question is this: are you a lion who's been fooled into believing that you're a sheep? And so now you don't know the difference because you've been grazing amongst sheep. Are you following the crowd in any direction, in no direction, in the wrong direction? Are you allowing someone else introduce you to yourself? Are you being worn out from being a follower? Our world today is full of noise. It's full of empty chatters and the loudest talkers. It's full of those who think little but talk a lot. Those who claim to know but they know nothing at all. There's always that constant need to make themselves seem intelligent, more knowledgeable, more superior, more correct. Never ever in my years on this earth life have I seen so much misunderstanding and so much disagreement in our world. Between married couples, between partners, between friends, colleagues at work, gym buddies, confused online influencers, religious groups and celebrities and even the government. All fighting for your attention, all trying to sway you in their direction. If you're caught in the middle, I hope you don't think you're special. They just want lambs to slaughter. And what eventually happens is that there's a lot of confusion. And with confusion comes wrong choices. Choices which we end up having to bear the consequences. Remember how back in the days when we got pressured by our mates and peer group, all wanting you to come out and do silly things with them. But then when you get caught, they all run away and label you as the culprit and even end up telling the teacher that you're the one who started it. Unfortunately, nothing has changed. This behavior has followed us throughout the years, and the pressure continues to mount from every angle. From your spouse, from your family, from your friends, from your social group, and from society at large. It's non-stop pressure. It's toxic. It's endemic. Everybody wants to sound convincing. They want to change your mind. There's no time in our history like now where we're being pressured to forget our own natural gut feeling, our own intuition, our own instincts, and even our own common sense. To ignore every bone in our body, even though it's sticking out and telling us that something's wrong. And all the hair on the back of our neck is up, telling us, well, something doesn't add up. And it warns us, don't be in a hurry to decide. Just wait a while. Hold it in silence. Go and sleep on it. Ask your guide. Intuit it. Pray about it. But what do? We ignore our own natural defenses, our own innate abilities, our own inbuilt ability to weigh and examine, our own attention to detail. And instead, we rely on external sources for confirmation and validation. We follow the trends, the caricatures, the popular opinions, whether it's regarding our health, our wealth, our fashion choices, our social beliefs and our behaviors. We then lower our own standards and eventually we condone immorality. And just everywhere you look, there's that pressure for you to be something that you're not, something that doesn't necessarily sit right with you. But through campaigns and coercion, through advertising and marketing, through all those subtle innuendos and insinuations, they gradually weigh you down and you eventually give in. Just like an addict, you keep going back for your fix. We are gradually losing our humanity, our ability to stand firm in the face of external pressure. This is my experience. I'm a living example of this. This used to happen to me with my fashion choices when I was younger and a lot more impressionable. I would look at a new fashion trend and say, what's this nonsense? I mean, who's going to wear that? I'll be so disgusted by it and my whole being will rebel against it. And then gradually, after about 2 or 3 months of it being constantly in your face, your friends are wearing it, your favorite celebrity is wearing it, everywhere you look, people are wearing it. You go on the internet and on the right-hand corner of your screen, there it is. It's even on sale, it's 50% off. And then gradually, your intellect kicks in and it convinces you that, well, it's not so bad. I mean, come on. Didn't you see Beyonce wearing it? It's okay. You look amazing in it. This is where you forget who you are and your morals and ethics jump out the window, and step by step your vanity becomes high on steroids. But only a few can actually hold off, can withstand this pressure. Only a few can find their center, take back their voice and hold their own. Only then do they begin to discover who they are and the strength that they have to resist temptation. It takes a while. It takes courage. It's not going to be easy. You'll lose friends. You'll part ways with people. You'll cry on some days. You'll feel so frustrated and misunderstood, sometimes from your closest allies. But when you stay true to who you are and what you stand for, and you know that nothing should sway you from your truth and that nothing matters in the world but that truth that you carry within you. For those who can withstand this pressure, welcome to the other side. It's very different here. It's a lot calmer. It might even be lonely, but it's extremely rewarding. It's freedom. There's a tool we all have that can help us navigate these troubled waters, this uncertainty around us, this confusion. It's designed to offer us real answers, the right answers. It's our inner voice. We only need to quieten the noise so that we can hear what it's trying to tell us. There's not many situations out there that the spirit within cannot find answers to. There's no difficult moment that help is not offered to us beyond what we ever think possible. There's not many journeys that we get to walk alone. We are never alone. We ride on the back of the love and the grace that's available to us, on the inspiration that we draw from higher places, as long as we open ourselves to it, and as long as we believe and stand firm in it. The Spirit knows. It knows many truths, but we doubt ourselves because of the pressure we get from others. But when we come into our own and follow the path that it leads us fearlessly, and we do not deviate or get distracted by others, by their opinions, by their empty chatters, we eventually find happiness. Remember this. This is your journey, and many will wish to design it for you. They'll wish to introduce you to yourself. And if you don't know who you are, you'll believe them. Every time that I try to ignore my own inner voice, that's always clear and precise, and I've made decisions based on other people's perceptions, societal pressures, what friends will say, what the husband thinks, how they would look in the eyes of the world, without me properly intuiting it within me. It failed, it backfired, and it caused me great pain. And the more you rely on these external human sources, which are subject to error, the more you lose your own self-confidence and you become dependent on others. It becomes even harder for you to pick yourself back up and make your own decisions. But there's a surer way to know the truth. if we can only observe the power of silence and listening to our inner voice, by withdrawing away from all the chaos and finding quietude so that we can get the right answers. I'm learning every day to hold things in silence, to allow it to marinate before serving it on a platter. Because if you serve it too quickly, it won't be properly cooked and it won't taste good. So when I'm troubled and confused, I go into my quiet space. I step out into my garden. I look for signs from the universe. I listen to what my inner voice is whispering to me. I breathe and I surrender it to the will of my Creator. When I go back in, I usually feel a lot lighter, like a ton has been lifted off my shoulders, and it's absolutely worked for me. Today, as I share my experience with you, I hope you can embark on your journey more courageously, believing that within you is the power to make the right choices for yourself, to conquer your own fears and believe in your own abilities, despite what others may think or force you to accept. And if you ever feel overwhelmed and troubled, look upwards to your Creator and calmly ask for guidance, because that is the surest way, for He is the Almighty. Don't follow the busy road with all the sheep heading in one direction. Be a lion. In my case, a lioness. Bye for now.